Now we know why Carson Hocevar was penalized. And happy Halloween, y'all. NBCSN is back from the dead. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, presented by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. Quick episode today, couple of stories I wanted to talk about. First, a follow-up. Yesterday, NASCAR fined Carson Hocevar $50,000 for revving his engine, for spinning his tires while safety crews were tending to his car at Kansas Speedway. We looked back at the onboard camera, the dash cam, if you will, and it was difficult to tell where or if the incident occurred. I asked yesterday, hey, can someone get us like a third-person perspective? And today, NASCAR delivered. NASCAR Communications posted this new angle of the incident where you can clearly see the number 77 throttle up, rear tires will go spinning as safety officials are trying to hook his car up to the tow truck. Yeah, I know from far away it doesn't look like much, but you can't do that. I don't see any reason he could have for throttling up right there while crew guys have their hands literally on his car. The safety truck is parked right in front of him. I see no defending that, frankly. And I want to be clear about something because I've seen the Hocevar fans out in full force the past 24 hours. Nobody is trying to snuff out Carson Hocevar's personality. Carson's great on social media. He's an entertaining interview. That's personality. We love that. This is not showing personality. This is just being reckless. This is the kind of stuff Carson needs to get rid of. Purged from his system. Everyone, fans, media, folks in the garage, everyone respects Carson Hocevar's raw speed, his talent. But many in the garage do not respect Hocevar's racecraft or decision-making. And incidents like these aren't doing much to change that narrative. Again, I love all the social media stuff. Hocevar buying up old race cars, streaming regularly on Twitch. Like, did y'all see last night he set like a stream donation goal of $50,000? Like, that's funny. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's clever. Nobody's trying to shut that stuff down. I love that. It's the dumb, reckless stuff. You know, hooking guys into the wall, spinning intentionally to bring out cautions like you did a couple times back in the day, being careless like this when safety crews are right there working on your car. You gotta cool it with that stuff. Carson Hocevar has the raw talent and ability to be a star one day, to regularly win NASCAR Cup Series races, maybe one day evolve into a championship contender. He has that kind of ceiling. But if you keep doing this stuff, you're gonna lose the respect of too many in the garage area. This is a very insular sport. If the results don't pick up, if we're still talking about Carson trying to get his first career win a year plus from now, this kind of nonsense could come back to haunt him one day. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully this becomes a memory, a thing of the past. But yeah, after seeing this footage, it looks like a little thing, but you just can't do that. I think the fine, it was pretty reasonable, in my opinion. Moving on, NBC made a couple of announcements today that impact NASCAR both in the short and long term. First, you may have seen that coming into this week, YouTube TV's deal with NBC and their family of networks was set to expire, which would have meant that NASCAR fans who use YouTube TV to watch USA Network, to watch Cup Series races, were at risk of losing access to that content this week. But crisis averted. Today, NBC, Universal, and Google have reached a multi-year distribution agreement to keep NBC and their suite of networks on YouTube TV. So if you're a race fan who has YouTube TV, you're good to go. No worries there. NBC also announced today the return of NBC Sports Network. NBCSN is back. Yes, the cable channel that was shut down like 4 years ago is expected to relaunch later this fall. Now, it's unclear if it will look or operate exactly the same as NBCSN used to, but I mean, this announcement makes sense from a timing perspective. It comes just a few weeks before the start of the NBA regular season. NBC just signed a new broadcast deal with the NBA, so it's safe to assume they'll be using this new NBCSN for some of their upcoming basketball coverage. What does this mean for NASCAR? Short term, Probably not much. There are only 2 Cup races left this year scheduled to air on USA Network, and then the final 3 races of the season will all be on big NBC, traditional over-the-air network television. But going into next year, it will be interesting to see how or if NBCSN is utilized. Remember, NASCAR is wrapping up its first year of a 7-year, $7+ billion media contract that saw a record number of Cup races moved onto cable television. NASCAR's chief media and revenue officer, Brian Herbst, spoke at the 2025 Racers Forum this week and explained this new TV deal from NASCAR's perspective. He said, quote, "Cable was still where most of the dollars were from a financial perspective. And then we wanted to make sure we had some kind of digital streaming element, which we were able to do with Amazon and HBO Max. We wanted to distribute our content differently beyond just broadcast and cable. Simply put, the industry wanted the most money possible out of this new deal. Enter Amazon, enter more races on cable. That's how we have gotten to where we are today." So NBCSN in some form or fashion is back. I'll be fascinated to see how it is worked into the NASCAR schedule. I know NASCAR has been on USA for a few years now, but USA Network, it's not a sports network. The average person doesn't think of USA and think sports. They think, I don't know, Law and Order. Shoot, I guess Law and Order and NASCAR do have a lot in common these days, I suppose. But so NASCAR may be moving over to NBCSN next year. That's a possibility, I suppose. Hopefully, the relaunch of NBCSN means that NBC Universal will put more resources and more attention into promoting their sports properties. They obviously have the NFL. They have an NFL package. Now they have an NBA package. That's new. That's exciting for them. But their NASCAR package this year seems to have been overlooked. Fans have pointed to little to no promotion from the NBC side of things for the past few races on USA Network. With the relaunch of NBCSN, potentially NASCAR content moving there next year, hopefully that means more promotion, because that has really been lacking the past few months for sure. Anyway, if you're a NASCAR fan, all you really need to know is that if you have YouTube TV, you're good to go for at least a couple more years. And for everyone else, be on the lookout going into next year to see if any Cup Series races move from USA to the newly revamped NBCSN. We'll talk about that news if and when it comes. We'll try to keep everyone up to date. But that's it. Just wanted to talk about those couple of headlines here on a Thursday. If you missed it earlier today, my buddy Ryan Stevens, analytical expert, joined the show to do our weekly race preview. We talked about the Roval, looked at the playoff picture, the bubble. So be sure to check that video out if you missed it. It's up on my channel. That's all for me today, folks. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening.